In today's video, I'll be discussing the results of the What Do You Like About GPO the Most vote. This vote opened on the 27th of October, so I think that enough time has passed for the vote to really be reflective of a large portion of the community's opinions. There have been over 30,000 votes so far. The options for the vote are fruits, PvP, item drops, weapons, boss fights, fighting styles, dungeons, puzzles, ships, item drops, hats, and races. Alright, with that little bit of introduction out of the way, let's get right into discussing the results of the vote. The option that received the most votes with a majority of 53.21% at the time of recording is fruits. Now, this honestly wasn't all that surprising to me, as fruits are a big part of the game in all areas from PvE to PvP. On top of this, fruits are one of the main parts of the game that make it a one-piece Roblox game. The fruits in GPO are also very well made, and acquiring a legendary or higher fruit is a big goal for most players. I personally really like the fruits in game and have recently started to try out more fruits outside of Mera. I have to admit, I really appreciate the work that went into the fruits that aren't even legendary. Even the rare fruits look awesome. The second highest option on the results list is PvP. Now, despite being second on the list, it only has a 12.51% share of the votes. This is a much smaller percentage than fruits. I think this just shows the overwhelming support for fruits compared to all the other options. However, this doesn't mean that we should disregard these options that aren't as high as fruits, as PvP is a huge part of endgame in GPO. Even before arena mode was added, people would have unofficial 1v1s in the in-game Colosseum. This shows that the desire for PvP content was there from the very beginning. Furthermore, in my own experience, PvP is probably one of my favorite parts of the game, and even if you aren't the best, you can still have fun and enjoy messing around with different fruits, builds, and weapons. The third highest option on the results list is item drops, weapons, with 9.23%. This actually didn't surprise me that much, as weapons are probably secondary to fruits in terms of the most important things in the game. M1s, weapon block breaks, and other weapon abilities make up a pretty big part of PvP, and for a long time they dominated PvE too. I remember that up until they changed it, the meta for boss farming was to infinitely wall stun up a boss with Enel's Golden Staff. I also feel obligated to mention that the weapon models look amazing, and most of their moves look cool too. On top of this, all the weapons outside of katanas and guns have pretty unique mechanics that really make them stand out. The fourth highest option on the results list is boss fights. Now, I'm surprised that this wasn't higher than fighting styles, but I guess it makes sense when you think about how big a part of the game boss fights actually are, as in the grand scheme of things they play a huge role. A big part of getting your character ready for PvP is acquiring the right boss drops. Despite primarily being used as ads when it comes to trading, boss drops actually do have quite a substantial role in the GPO economy. A lot of people do not even choose to fight bosses anymore, and instead simply trade legendary devil fruits in order to get all the drops at once. Now, I also actually enjoyed quite a few of the boss fights, notably the Arlong and the Enel boss fight. The fifth highest option is fighting styles. Now, fighting styles rarely play the biggest part in people's builds and are typically used as secondary skills. This is especially true for the main two fighting styles, Blackleg and Rokushiki. A lot of people will only put 25 points into these in order to unlock Tekai for Rokushiki and Collier for Blackleg. However, that being said, a lot of people also put points into Blackleg and Strength due to the high combo potential of the fighting style. Overall, I can see why fighting styles weren't at the bottom of the list, and also I wouldn't say I like them more than fruits or PvP. There are quite a few fighting styles in the game, and with the potential cyborg fighting style on the way, maybe fighting styles will become a bigger part and more liked part of the game soon. The remaining 5 options received such small percentages of total votes that I really don't feel like discussing them in depth, so I'll briefly discuss them now. Dungeons came in 6th, and this is no surprise to anyone who has done them in their current state. Dungeons are basically just glorified wave systems, but at least they're guaranteed to at least be somewhat rewarding, as if you last enough waves of NPCs, you are guaranteed a fruit. Puzzles came in 7th, and this is something I would like to discuss more in depth, and I think I'll save for another video, but let's be real, there are hardly any puzzles in the game currently, so honestly this option's position on the results board is to be expected. Ships came in surprisingly low, but considering they play a fairly small role in the game, despite it being a self-proclaimed naval game, this makes sense. Item drops, hats, came in 2nd to last, which isn't to say that hats are bad, I just think that they're not really anyone's most liked thing. The option that came in last is race races, and this kind of makes sense, as the differences between character races in game aren't actually that impactful, outside of fighting style choice, so its position last on the list makes sense, considering how small of a role it plays in in-game for most people. Okay, that's where I'm going to end this video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to support my channel, then please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. With that out of the way, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye, guys.